Yo, what's going on, guys? Reversal here, and today I'm doing another Dinosaur deck profile with the most recent ban list. And this time it's going to be a going first list, more focused on the Xeno cards and some of the other support that Dino's got in the last year or so. If you haven't checked out the Nemesis build or the Blind Second build, definitely would recommend watching both of those as well. Kind of get an idea of how you choose to play the deck. They're all like good in different ways, so definitely recommend checking out all of them and then kind of making a decision based on your preferences for your playstyle. But before I get into the video, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, definitely do that now. Drop a like, comment, all that good stuff. And if you're interested in this Dinosaur playmat or these sleeves, check out finalsaga.de and use my code reversal10 for 10% off your order if you decide to buy anything. Helps me directly. They got a bunch of other cool stuff over there, so definitely check them out. I'll leave a link in the description as well. So as far as the list goes, this is going to be 42 cards. That's like the number that I've been on for dinos lately and like everything. You can play anywhere between 40 and 42. I wouldn't go over 42 though, ever really, since you're kind of starting to decrease the consistency for every card you add at that point. So you'd have to have like a really good reason to go over 42 in my opinion, but anywhere between 40 and 42 is fine, just to kind of help fit you that non-engine that you want to fit in and help dilute the bricks a little bit. But yeah, I'll just get right into it. I'm just gonna kind of run through a lot of it, like just as quick as possible, since it's a lot of like standard stuff, and then I'll show the combo at the end. But 3 Ovi, 2 Archosaur, 3 Baby, 2 Petite, standard for going first. Miss Kaito. So playing this instead of Rex, since we're playing polymerization in this build, which is something I haven't really shown off too much in the channel before, outside the Secret Village combo that I showed in like the first Maze of Millennia deck profile I did, which you can definitely still do that. There's a Secret Village that you can side. And then if you're interested in that combo, go back and watch the end of that video, because I'm not going to show it again in this. I'll show like the basic combo instead. We got Frost and Meteors for the Lars plays, 2 Conductor, Pink, as usual, then the 1 Litho. So this is part of the combo, but it's done in a way that's not something you've probably seen on like YouTube before, since a lot of them are just like searching diagram mid combo and then not really doing anything with it, not really improving the ceiling too much, not really getting you anything for your grind game. They're just adding this for no reason and then just losing to Nibiru. But this combo isn't going to be doing that. But this card and like the diagram package is basically the same as the Ground Xeno package for the most part, in my opinion, now, without Baron. Since the main good thing about Baron with the Ground Xeno combos was how safe it was. So since that's gone, I feel like the difference between Diagram and Ground Xeno is very small now. I'd say Ground is probably slightly better, but it's not by too much of a margin. Then the consistency spells, we got 3 Pot, 3 Dig as usual, 2 Ground Xeno, just playing 2 instead of 3 just because couldn't find space for a third. And you don't want to like clog on these in the diagram package, since they all kind of serve the same purpose. You just want to see 1 just so you have the extender. 2 Pills, 2 Lost World, and Diagram for the field spells. The fact that you can technically search Lost World with the Hornsaurus doesn't really like factor into my decision to play 2 at all. I feel like that's not something you ever like really want to do. But just playing 2 instead of 3, just because it's not like the best card going first in this build, like because the Ovi Lost World combos aren't that good, but they're like fine. But I like this card going second a lot, and then Diagrams like just another extender it's using the combo. You could definitely play a Terraforming to basically be like the 3rd Lost World / 2nd Diagram, but I didn't have space for it. But you could definitely like cut like one of the non-engine to throw that in if you want. And then the polymerization. I haven't really been a fan of this card in the past, and I'm still not a huge fan of it personally, because I think it's a brick most of the time. But for the purpose in the combo, it can help your lines not randomly lose to like Abystial, and you can't get nibbed at any point, and it helps you get missed back in rotation. So I think it's like fine to play if you want to play like this version of the deck, which I'll kind of show you how it's used in the combo afterwards. So for the non-engine, it's called by 3 Book of Eclipse, So this has been my favorite non-engine card for sure as of recently. I've been using it in like all my builds, and it's just been overperforming pretty much every time I see it. If you see more than one, it's like fine, going second. If they have a negate, you can just use it again. Going first, it's like broken in my opinion, because like if they don't deal with your board, they're losing. And if they do deal with your board and you have this backing it up, this card can often just be enough to kind of like stop their plays enough to where you can get back to your turn. And it's hard to deal with all the bodies that you had at that point, so you can just flip them back up, and then the draws you give them aren't really that big of a deal at the end phase. You just kind of have to play around nib at that point. That's the only thing that really you have to worry about a lot of the time. Then 3 Imperm and 3 Ogre. So this was droplet before, but I decided to throw Imperm in for this list just because I feel like a lot of the time you're just going 1-for-1 with droplet, but the fact that it is chainable is really nice. But I think Imperm's fine. I just wanted cards that were good as 6 cards, and these are both good, even if you like top deck them. The Ogre's nice for it's like the Tenpai field spell. It can hit Appaloosa, IP, it can hit Voiceless, a bunch of other stuff in the meta. You can like U-Bulk, hit like the Nightmare Pain. It's really only just not good against Branded. The only thing you can really hit in that deck for the most part is like Cartesia, which isn't that good. So if you have like a lot of Branded at your locals, you definitely need to prepare better for Branded. But yeah, it's going to be it for the main deck. For the extra deck, got Lars, Lagia, Dolka, as usual. Dweller, Dugares, can help you with OTKs and get over towers. Baguska, this has been something I've been making a lot in other builds. Can come up against like Shifter. We could just OV banish Rex, this comes back, or Rex comes back, you can make Baguska. And it can sometimes be enough to get you to the next turn. And sometimes you can make like SP, Baguska, Conductor, and then like after you break a board. And if they don't out the Baguska, then like they can't really do anything. And if they do, then your Conductor's live again. Then your SP is always going to still be live since it's a link and it's not going to defense. Then we got the Transcendosaur's Drill Guy. This is something I haven't really used on the channel before, so I'll kind of go over it a little bit. So it's another rank 6 you can make, and this can summon back Misk from the banish pile, so getting Misk back in rotation is nice. And then when this card is destroyed, you can bring it back by shuffling the vanilla back, so that's used in the combo as well, which I'll show after this. Then links, we got Anima, SP, Rapidocus, fusions, we got 2 Hornsaurus. You use both of these in the combo. That's how you make the Lars with the second copy of this, as opposed to using like Meteorus and Frostosaurus. And the Gigantosaurus, this card can come up sometimes, so it's nice to have. Then Dark and Pentastag, these are like more optional. If you want to play the Secret Village on the side, you want to play the Dark. So definitely, if you're going to play that, play this. Then Pentastag can help you OTK. And some other options you could play are the Guardian Chimera, which I don't keep the polymerization in if you go second, so I don't think you really need to play this since it's not going to come up much, but you can if you want. And then Chang'Yang, this is just good with Meteorus. There's like another 10 you can make with that and Rex as you're climbing going second. So you're never going to make this on your end board, but it can be helpful going second for sure. So now I'll run through some side deck choices you can make, and then I'll show the combo right after that. So the 1 Doggerin, I think this is good to include just because like Pearly is back in the meta somewhat, and then like Raid Raptor is a deck. It's always good to have a searchable out to those Towers type cards. 3 Nib. Nib pairs well with the Ogre and the Imperm in the main deck, so that's good. And then sometimes decks just can't play around this card, and sometimes even if they can, the person on the other side of the table piloting the deck doesn't play the right way, and they could just throw into this card anyway. So I feel like it's pretty good to have. Ash, something you can side if you have like a lot of Branded or Labyrinth at your locals. It's also good against Tenpai. It can hit the quick play and battle phase. So it's a pretty decent card to have. We got some Bystials. You could play a different Bystial than this one since you have different names. Or you can opt to play DD Crow instead of these as well, since it has a little more application into the format. As opposed to only hitting lights and darks, it can hit other attributes and spell traps as well, which can come up. So definitely having those is good, whether it's the Bestials or the DD Crows. Then you want to have some back row hate, obviously. So you can either have Duster and 3 Cosmics, or you could play like Duster and 2 Lightning Storms. But I think the Cosmics are nice right now for like 10 pi, and then the fact that you can use this going first and second helps with the versatility when it comes to siding. So I think playing any number of these is good. If you opt to go more into the board breaker approach, you can play the Storms and then play like 1 Thrust and 1 Change of Heart, just to kind of give you some more versatility, because like this could be engine, this could be the back row hate, it could be a steel card, it could be your engine. So I think even if you play Thrust at 1, it's still pretty good. Then for like some going first stuff, you got the Secret Village. If you want to do this versus like Branded or like Runic, you could always go for this if you know they're not going to hand trap you. And then they could just not use spells, and sometimes that's enough to just win you the game against those type of decks. And then if you want to play like an actual going first card, I'd probably play Judgment. Just because this can help against like Droplets and Dark Rulers. I don't think Dark Ruler is going to be very popular, but Droplet definitely I think will be decently around. And this can also hit like 10 pi normal summons, even if they have the field spell. So that's kind of funny. Like you just Judgment their summon, and then there's not like a ton they could do after that. For the most part, unless they like maybe draw Insane or something. But that's it for the side deck options. There's a bunch of different stuff you could play based on your local meta or whatever. It's always kind of the case with side decking, and even like main deck non-engine. So I'll show off the combo, just the basic Ovi Baby. Shout out to Tholuk from the Dino Discard for this combo. He's the one that kind of came up with this. So just kind of do the normal stuff to get to the point that we're all like used to. Misk for 1, Archosaur, Pop Baby, Ovi, Pop Petite, summon back Baby, summon Meteors from deck. So the difference here, as opposed to like the regular like Lars builds before, is you're going to use the Meteors now, since we're not going to go into a link. And that's going to summon you the Frost, and then the Baby's going to summon you the Kaito. So before, you would go into Anima before the lock, and then go into Secure Gardener as well. So you'd end on Lars, Dolka, Conductor, and that would be that. What you could do without playing like all this extra stuff is before you use the lock, you go into Anima, and then you can use the pop to summon the stuff, and then you'd summon off the Anima and the Kaito or Rex into like a Reaper-Docus, just to get the non-Dino engrave. And like it'd be the same end board as before, just would be Reaper-Docus instead of Gardna, which is fine. But with that combo, you would like just randomly lose to a Bestial on your Anima at that point. It's because like your Rex or Kaito would be stuck in grave, your Pill wouldn't be live, so you really wouldn't have much. You just would have the Lars, and then you'd be locked, so you couldn't really go into a whole lot else. So this kind of helps solve the Bestial issue that the Link Rebo ban provided, which is cool. So yeah, from here, you gotta get your Pill from the Archosaur as well, and then when the Kaito's summoned, you get the Polymerization. So from here, you're gonna overlay these two into the Drill Guy. Then the Drill Guy is gonna resummon your Misk from Banished. And then from here, you can use the Poly. We're gonna use the Archosaur and the Kaito to go into Hornsaurus number 1. And then Hornsaurus is going to place the Diagram from deck. And you're going to use the Diagram to pop the Drill Guy, to add the Litho. And then when the Drill Guy is destroyed, you can shuffle back the Vanilla to resummon this. So that's another, just getting the body back. Now you can use your Pill. You're going to banish the Litho from your hand and the Kaito from the grave. So those are going to get banished. I'm going to summon our Conductor from deck. And then the Kaito is going to come back. And then when this comes back, you get to add back a poly from your graveyard. So now you're at this point. Just kind of tighten it up a little bit. So you have all this now. You got your conductor back. You have all these bodies. And now you can use your poly again on the Kaito and the drill to summon Hornsaurus number 2. So now you just have these that you could overlay for Dolka and Lars. So it's the same end board as before, pretty much. And then you have the Misk for follow-up. You can help banish the Kaito, get you another OV, insert you another conductor, whatever, on your next turn. You need something to pop with the conductor, obviously, with this. So if you don't have something in your hand, for example, you might want to go for Pank instead here. But either way, it's like the same amount of disruptions as the previous board, but it just gets you some extra follow-up. And there's no point in this combo where they could Nibiru you, so that's another positive. But yeah, this is like a way you could play the deck if you want to just play like the more basic like Xeno stuff to like end on these guys more. But this is my least favorite of the 3 builds I posted, so would definitely check out the other ones. I'd play the Nemesis build before this in terms of going first, personally, from my experience since the ban list, but I wanted to kind of show this one as well, just for those that want to like maybe use the Poly and the Kaito, like all this other stuff that dinos have got in the last year or so. So yeah, it's going to be it for the profile. If you end up trying this, let me know how it goes for you. And that's going to be it for today. Peace. Thanks for watching.